Okay, I want you to imagine something for a second. Imagine walking into a building that doesn't smell like bleach, doesn't have that echo of desperate barking, but instead, it feels like a warm, art-filled home, a place designed to actually mend a broken spirit. And no, that's not some new wellness retreat. It's a radical new vision for animal shelters. It's really at the heart of a silent movement that's completely changing what it means to rescue a dog.
You know, for literally thousands of dogs, the journey from an overcrowded, high-stress shelter to a forever home, it's a race against the clock. So today, we're going to dive into how that journey is being transformed, moving way beyond just adoption to a much deeper, more inclusive lifestyle that you'll see heals both the dog and the human.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to follow this story through 5 key parts. First up, we'll see how the shelter itself is being redefined. Then we'll walk through something called the 333 Roadmap Home. After that, we'll look at how these dogs give us a whole new purpose, how our world is becoming more pet inclusive, and finally, how your own journey can start, well, right now.
So let's dive right in at the beginning. The whole transformation really kicks off the moment a dog is pulled from one of those high-stress environments. And step 1 is to completely rethink our idea of what a shelter even is, from just a place of waiting to a real place of healing.
Okay, so this right here, this is a huge shift in thinking. The old way, we all know it, loud, stressful, very clinical. But the new way, which places like the Love Pup Foundation are pioneering, proves that if you create a space that feels good to humans, you know, with art and a cozy home-like vibe, it fundamentally calms and changes the entire experience for the dogs too. It's the very first step in mending their spirit.
And this really shows you why that change is so critical. Shelters all across the country are in crisis mode. I mean, in Newark, New Jersey, the state's oldest and largest shelter is housing 150 dogs in a space built for 110. And that's a reality thousands of organizations are facing. So creating a better environment isn't just about comfort, it's literally about survival.
Let's move on, because once a dog is out of that stressful shelter, the next phase begins. And this might be the most important part of the whole journey. This is where a simple rule can change absolutely everything.
Okay, you're going to want to remember this. It's called the 333 rule, and it's your roadmap. For the first 3 days, your new dog is just decompressing. That's it, just figuring out if they're finally safe. Then, over the first 3 weeks, they start to learn your routine. You know, when you wake up, when you eat, when you go for a walk. And then, by 3 months, that's when the magic really happens. That's when they finally get it. They finally realize they are home for good. So the key takeaway here is this. Patience isn't just a virtue, it's the entire foundation of your bond. And this is where the whole story kind of flips on its head. Because this journey isn't just about saving a dog's life. So often it's about transforming a human's. I mean, just look at this data from the University of Michigan. In just 6 years, there's been a 10% jump in seniors who say their pet gives them a reason to get up in the morning. For retirees especially, a dog can be this incredible defense against loneliness and create a vital new connection to the world around them. And you know what? That new sense of purpose often leads to a whole new focus on wellness. We're in the middle of this huge cultural shift toward canine fitness. It's not just about a lazy walk around the block anymore. We're talking about intentional activities that boost their cognitive skills and help prevent awful diseases like diabetes and arthritis. Even just 5 extra minutes a day using things like balance platforms to build their core strength can make all the difference, and it just makes that bond so much deeper. And this commitment to their health, it's going to some pretty incredible places. I mean, it's not even that uncommon anymore for amazing veterinary teams to perform what are basically medical miracles, like placing pacemakers in dogs with heart conditions, giving them a whole new shot at a happy life. So as we bring these amazing dogs deeper and deeper into our lives, the world itself is having to catch up. We're seeing this slow but steady move from a world that's merely pet-friendly to one that's truly pet-inclusive. And listen, this difference is everything. Pet-friendly, as you probably know, often just means your pet is tolerated. You get hit with a wall of rules, restrictions, and waivers the second you check into a hotel. But pet-inclusive, that means you're genuinely welcomed. It's about amenities, special services, and focusing on making the entire family, 4-legged members included, feel right at home. But you know, being truly inclusive, that means we have to tackle the really big hurdles. And one of the biggest is that right now, an estimated 50 million pets in the US don't have access to proper vet care, mostly because of money. So organizations like PetSmart Charities are working to close that gap, to make sure that once a pet finds a home, they get to keep it.
And if you ever doubted how deep this bond goes, listen to this. A staggering 90% of pet owners would risk their own lives rather than leave their pets behind in a disaster. Think about that. That single statistic proves these animals aren't just property, they are family. And our disaster planning, our communities, everything has to start reflecting that reality.
Okay, now here's a number that I find absolutely incredible. It really shows the power you have to make a difference. A dog that gets even a single one-night break from a shelter in a foster home is 14 times more likely to be adopted. It's an amazing way for people who travel or can't commit long-term to literally change a life with something as simple as a sleepover. It's just wow.
And all of this, it really brings us back to what matters most, the individual stories. Because every single dog that gets that label, unadoptable, is really just a story waiting for its next amazing chapter to be written. I mean, think about a dog like Titan, who waited a whole year in a shelter only to find the perfect home and become this huge online sensation. Or Ursula, a puppy who beat the deadly parvovirus and went on to graduate from training. Or Chewy, who became a completely new, happy dog after a pacemaker fixed his heart. These aren't just one-off exceptions. They are proof of what is possible with a little bit of patience and a whole lot of love. You know, every single one of us has the power to be part of a story just like that. So if you've been thinking about it, maybe waiting for the right moment, looking for some kind of sign,
Well, consider this it. This is your sign. Visit your local shelter, ask them about the dogs who have been there the longest, and get ready to start your own 333 journey. You're not just going to be changing their life. I promise you, you'll be